Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial I'll be showing you guys how I made the gown you saw on the screen, and the down part, which is called the balloon or bubble skirt, which was attached to the top. I'll also be showing you how I got the sleeve. All right, and this is the material I'm going to be using, and I'll also show you how I got the bra cup size. Okay, so if this video is something you are interested in making, please hit on the subscribe button and let's get started. And this measurement will start from my chest line, so I'm going to remove 8 inches. You can see what I'm doing. I removed 8 inches, place it on the chest line, okay, to mark out my body measurement. I repeated the same thing on the other side in order to get the line correctly. So I'm going to rule the lines by connecting all the dots. And now we are going to get our bust span, which is our dart. Mine is 4 inches, so I marked it on the chest line. I marked it on the bust, under bust waistline, and also the lower waist, and then connect the dot and label all of them. And now is for us to get our bust cup size. The formula is on the screen. Mine is 3 inches, so I'm going to share it. Right, I will mark 1 inch from the center, then by the side I will mark 2 inches. Now I'm going to mark this on the under bust. Okay, so I'm going to repeat the same thing on the waistline and lower waist in order to get the line correctly, because I'm going to extend this line down. Okay, you can see what I'm doing. I will also connect this side on. So once I'm done with this down part, I'm going to use my tape tool. From the bust line, I'm going to mark out 1 inch. You can see what I'm doing. I'll mark out 1 inch from the bust line, and then from the under bust is where I will connect it to this 1 inch I came down to. You can see how I place my ruler. This is how you are going to place your ruler in order to get it correctly. So I'm going to repeat the same thing on this side. All right, see how I place my ruler and connect it. You can see our cup is coming out. You can see it. So the next step right now is for us to go to our chest line and mark out. You can use half an inch, but I use 7.5 here. This is for gaping, is to cage this upper part so that it won't be loose. All right, so I've marked out 7.5 to each bolt, right, and then connect it. You can see what I'm doing. This is for gaping. It's going to catch that upper part of yours. All right, so after this I'm going to mark my body measurement, which is 10. You can see this, my chest line is 10 inches, which is as well as my bust line. I'll mark it on the chest line, and I'll also mark it on the bust line, the same on the under bust waistline, and also the lower waist. Right, so after marking the body measurements, the next thing I'm going to do is to use my ruler to connect all the dots. All right, you can see what I'm doing. Connect it, and then also add your dart intake. Whatever you have on the dart, you have to replace it by the side. So I'm going to mark 3 inches. All right, from the under bust down to the lower waist. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is for me to also take out the dart from the chest line and replace it by the side. So I'm going to use my ruler to connect it from down up to the chest line. So now we are done with this. I'm going to use my ruler to make a curve on the armhole, just a little curve. Okay, you can see what I did there. So right now I'm going to cut out the areas that I do not need, and then we can work on the back side. This is how it's looking. You can see it very fine. And this is the back. I'm going to mark my starting point as shown, and then use the front, use the front to mark out the lines. You can see what I'm doing. I place the front on the pattern paper and then mark out the lines in order to get it correctly, because we're going to use the same lines on the back. So once I'm done with this, I'll mark out my zipper allowance, which is 1 inch. So I will repeat the same thing on the chest line and all the lines. Use my ruler to mark it. Now we are going to mark out our darts. Okay, remember, every measurement you are going to make will start from the zipper, right? This zipper line. Okay, this is where all your measurement is going to start. So I've marked out my dart line and then connect it. So from the waistline, I'm going to also went ahead to label all of them. So from the waistline, I'm going to go out by 7.5 as well. From the waistline, I'll mark it on the other side and also repeat the same thing on the side. Then use my ruler as shown to connect it to the chest line. I'll repeat the same thing on this end. So once this is done, the next thing I'm going to do right now is for me to contour my zip. Okay, so from the waistline, I'm going to go in. From the waistline, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. Remember, we have 1 inch for our zip, so I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch and then use my ruler, that is from the waistline. Use my ruler to connect it up to the chest line. You can see how it's looking, and then I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. You can see how I place my ruler. This is how it's going to be. So you're going to cut this area off. So once this is done, your zip will sit properly. So another thing is for me to mark my body measurement. Remember, I told you every measurement will start from the line I marked for my zipper. Okay, so I'm going to start from there to mark all the body measurement, and then add my dart intakes. Okay, so after connecting all the dots, I have to also add my dart intake. I have to mark it. Please don't forget it when you are working on your own. So once this whole stuff is done, the next thing we are going to do is to cut all the areas that we do not need. All the areas, both the armhole, you can see the zipper part, I've cut it. You can see how it's looking. So this is how it's going to look. So the next step right now is for us to label all the papers and then go and cut it on the material we want to use. So while I was cutting it on the material, I remember that I did not add extra 1 inch on the chest line when I was cutting it on the pattern paper. So I added 1.5 inch. So because I don't want my boobs to be showing, so 1/2 inch is for the inch I'm going to use to sew it. So why the 1 inch I added is to cover up the upper part. All right, so these are the stripe I'm going to be using, and for the arm, for the sleeve, and also for the piping of the upper part. So after making this, I decided to give it a sweetheart neckline. All right, so I went ahead to mark that line, and this is it after cutting it. So right now I'm going to be joining the sides. So it's going to be this way, facing each other. You can see what I'm doing. You hold it like this, face each other, and go to your sewing machine and sew it. So I've gone ahead to do that. This is how it's looking. You can see the sweetheart neckline. So this is how it's looking, and I've also joined the sides. So this is for the sleeve. All right, this is the material I'm going to be using for the sleeve, and this is the stripe I'm going to be inserting in the middle. So this is it. I've gone ahead to join the sides together and also sew the upper part. All right, if you have a weaving machine, you can use it on the upper part. So right now I'm going to turn it to the right side and iron it. So please, if you have iron your own properly. So once this is done, I'm going to use my ruler. I'm going to use my tape to measure the midpoint. So I'll do that and use my ruler to connect all the dots. You can see what I'm doing. So once this stuff is done, please from the line use your chalk and mark out 1/4 of an inch, because that is where you'll be sewing. All right, I've gone ahead to sew it. This is the opening. This is where I will insert this stripe. So I'm going to do what, insert it and show you how it's looking. This is our sleeve. If you want your own to be very full, please, you have to use enough material to achieve it. So once that is done, I'm going to keep it aside then and show you how you are going to attach it to the material. So this is the stripe I cut out for the piping of this upper part. All right, so I'm going to place it and then use my pin to hold it down. All right, this is how you are going to do it, and then you continue attaching it to the main material this way. When you get to this point, you can see this line where the bust line is. You now place your sleeve there, the stripe there, and then use your pin and hold it down. This is how you are going to achieve it, and also repeat the same thing on the back. Once you are done doing that, you go to your sewing machine and sew it and also top stitch. Okay, so this is the down part. Just cut out your round hip measurement times 2 or 3 if you have enough material. Repeat the same thing on the line and make sure that the main material is longer than the lining by 2 inches. Okay, then go to your sewing machine and run a stitch there in order to keep them in place. Okay, then start your gathering. These are the ones I've already gathered. So this is how I gather. All right, you fold the material this way, front, you go like this and then go back on top of it. All right, you go like this, then you go back on top of it. All right, this is how you gather. So this is how I achieve all these gathers. When you are gathering, please, at the end of the material, make sure you leave 1 inch for your zipper, right? Okay, please don't gather all of them. So this is how it's going to look when you finish gathering it. So the next step is for us to join the sides together. That is the lining and the main material facing each other. You can see it. Push the lining to the end and then the main material, push it out from the down part. This is the down part. Remember, your gathering should be, the down part gathering should be your round hip measurement, right? And some inches, right? To make sure that is very, very free. It's not going to be tight. So this is how you are going to join it and repeat the same thing on the other side. You push the lining and also once that thing is done, you turn it to the right side in order to gather the upper part, which is the waistline. You are gathering the waist, your round waist measurement, okay, with zipper allowance. All right, that is what you are going to be leaving on the upper part. This is the upper part, which is the waistline. To do that, you have to turn it to the right side. Okay, so I've gone ahead to do that and also leaving the zipper allowance. I repeated the same thing on this end as well. So this is how it's going to look when you finish. You attach it to the main material, which is the upper part, the black one, and then add your zipper. This is it, and this is the final look. If this video is helpful, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.